What is up, guys? DWA926 here, coming at you from under the bun. Uh, today, today we're going to be doing reviews of episode 5, 6, and 7 of the Halo show. All right. I did take some notes here this time to actually remember people's names instead of calling her Asian girl and things like that. So hopefully that'll help some things here. So first off, let's get started here. We have 3 episodes to do today. The show's not getting any better. That's number one. It's had its moments though where it's showing that it could be a good show. And then it has moments where they're showing where they choose not to make it a good show. So we'll start with episode 5. Episode 5 was honestly a pretty boring episode until about the last 15 minutes. The last 15 minutes is full action, Master Chief fighting, killing things. It was really cool. If you're able to find that on YouTube somewhere, something like that, definitely check it out. It's episode 5. Check it out. Just search Halo Series episode 5, like ending or last 15 minutes or something. It should pop up. But I'll get to that in a second. So the episode started with Chief still on he's on his home planet, like he was in episode 4, and he's still going through some things. Like I said, he finds the other like marker thing, the other keystone or whatever they call it, and Dr. Halsey knows telling him not to touch it, don't touch it. And he touches it, of course, because he never listens in the show, apparently. And he has another flashback. He learns that he was abducted as a child, and essentially that his whole life's been a lie, essentially. That he was stolen. He's taken from his parents as a kid. That Dr. Halsey then made these like clones of the kids to stick back in the house so that the parents didn't know that the kid was stolen or whatever, and then the cloned kid dies like a few weeks later or something like that. And I guess that's the case for every Spartan. Like, she'll kidnap you, make a clone, stick the clone in the house, and then the clone like dies of a illness in like a few weeks, and everybody just thinks like, oh, our kid died of whatever, malaria or whatever. So he, like I said, he learns all that in the flashback, and he starts freaking out. He gets really mad, and Cortana in his head is telling him like, you need to calm down, you need to calm down, and he's freaking out. Turns around, Dr. Halsey's there, and he makes his fist, and he's like, "Argh!" And he jumps to like beat shit out of her. And then Dr. Halsey's like, Cortana, now! And then Cortana's like, shutting down Neuralink. And then Master Chief just like passes out. And I was like, it's fucking stupid. Like, she has the power to like mind control him essentially in this show. Which, whatever. I've given up hope on this show. So then they do that. It flashes over to Quan, who's a little Asian girl. I know the name now. Flashes over to Quan and Soren, which is the pirate guy that used to be a Spartan that left when he was a teenager. So it goes back to them. Soren's handcuffed her to a motorcycle while he goes to try and find help. She escapes. Soren comes back and he's like, bitch, where the fuck's this bitch? And then she's like, bah! She knocks him out, right? Knocks his ass out. And all that stuff. And there's all this other stuff of her in the middle of trying to get out of it and all that stuff. And nobody cares about that, though. No one cares about Quan. No one likes Quan. So anyway, so then it goes back to Master Chief. He's still all salty that Halsey did all that stuff to him as a kid, And then next thing you know, the Covenant pop up because when Master Chief touched it, they got the signal for the Keystone, and they now know where it is. And then Spartan Kai, which is the other lady, the lady that cut out her chip, like I said in episode 4, I think, or 3, 4, whatever. She also cut out her chip. They're all there, and Dr. Halsey's like, Master Chief, I need you to get the keystone like to the ship so we can leave with it. And all of a sudden he's like, "I bitch, I'll help you, even though I hate you." So him and the two other Spartans, I don't know their names, but I don't care about them. Uh, Load up the keystone and they're driving, and they see Kai, Spartan Kai, down. Or Chief sees her like down on the side of like they're like driving up a mountain essentially to get to the ship, and like she's down here, like fighting, and she doesn't have an emotion chip in, so she's like tweaking out, like getting like PTSD and stuff like that, and she's like freaking out, and she like stops shooting, and all the Covenant just start like laying onto her and shooting the shit out of her, and Halsey sees it, and she's like, "Chief, you have to leave her. You have to leave her." And he's like, "Bitch, I ain't leaving her behind." And this is when shit gets cool. So Chief jumps off the side of the. They're driving in a Warthog. He jumps off the side of the Warthog and lands on a motherfucking Banshee. And he's hanging on the side of the Banshee. And he opens it up a little bit, and I think he shoots the elite that's in there, whatever, and it like crashes and it like blows up on this other ship, right? That was badass. And then Chief comes out and he's like, and he's shooting everybody and he's killing everybody, and he's doing all that Master Chief stuff, you know, just killing everybody in his path. Super cool, super awesome. There's jackals in here and grunts and elites, and then a brute shows up at the end. So anyway, he's fighting all of them, gets to her, gets her to safety, and then he sees the keystone because it fell off. The Warthog blew up or something. I don't know. The keystone's down on the ground, and he's like running to go get it. And then just when he's about to get it, a brute like shoots out of the ship, like beams down, and is like right in front of him. This part was cool. So Chief grabs a jackal shield, and he like swings the brute swings his hammer, and he blocks it with the shield, and it like knocks the shit out of him, though, right? Obviously. And then he's like fighting with the brute a little bit, and then the brute takes it and leaves, and they shoot down the girl that also is a chosen one or whatever. They shoot her out of the ship and down to the planet as like a spy, even though she's still a bad guy. They shoot her down. And that's how episode 5 ends. Like I said, it was a dumb episode. The last 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or whatever. Saved it. That's where it kind of showed, like, hey, we have the ability to be a good show, but we choose not to be a good show. Whatever. Episode 6. This episode didn't have Quan at all. So that automatically made it like a 9 out of 10 episode. Didn't have Quan at all, or Soren, or their stupid little side story. So that was good. Most of it was Chief versus Halsey. And essentially the UNSC. He now knows that he was kidnapped as a kid, knows all the things that happened to him when he was a kid. And he goes and talks to the chosen one, the other woman, because the UNSC has her prisoner now, even though, well, not prisoner, they have her, like, are taking care of her, even though she's a bad guy, which they don't know yet. So he goes and interrogates her. She tells him, like, "Oh, we're chosen. We're both the same." And he's like, "Oh my god, I'm going to go touch the keystone again." So he goes and holds on to it again. All that stuff. I'll get back to that in a second. Chief locks Dr. Halsey in this, like, laboratory and is about to, like, blow it up, essentially, to see if Cortana is able to, like, really control his mind. And she's like standing in front of him, which was really stupid, full size and everything. And they're having like a full on argument. And he's like, "If you can control my mind, make me open it." And she's like, I can't. excuse me, which she can't. So then Chief lets the door open and lets her out. And yeah, that's it. Uh, the there's a UNSC general. She's like the top. She chooses to send Dr. Halsey to like a separate planet, essentially sending her to jail because she was doing the cloning and stuff like that. So she gets sent to jail at the end of it. Uh, yeah. And then Miranda Keyes now is in charge of the Spartan program, which I thought was a little weird, but whatever. Uh, so yeah, Chief goes back to the Keystone. He grabs onto it again, and then since he's magic, and this other woman that they got now is magic, uh, well, they don't got, but the bad lady, she's also magic, and they're close to each other. He touches it, and she starts like tweaking out. She starts like having a stroke, and she's like on the floor, right? All that's going on, and then it goes to like what he's seeing, and he sees the Halo ring. He's on the Halo ring, and then which was cool. He again was not in his suit. He's of all these episodes, he's been in his suit maybe episode 1 through 7, maybe 20 minutes or maybe 30 minutes max. Had his helmet on 5 minutes maybe. I don't know, not that much. So anyway, they're on the ring, and I'll be Master Chief. This will be the woman, and they're like walking towards each other, and he's like looking around, and it's all like beautiful and everything, and he's like staring at her because she's shorter than him. They're like staring at each other, and he's like, "Oh my god!" And I was waiting for some freaking Marvin Gaye to pop on and be like, "Want to make love to you, woman," but Marvin Gaye never came on, and they never made love. But you can tell they're gonna try in episode 8, because he's not in episode 7 at all. Episode 8, I can tell that they're gonna try and have some kind of like romance between the two, which is stupid. And then episode 7, this one was really boring. The whole episode was about Quan. She goes into the wilderness or into the desert and finds these like mystic people that her father supposedly went to. She wants to know what they told him. Vincer is the bad guy that lives on Madrigal, that's trying to kill her. So I know his name now too as well. Uh, so he goes and talks to the mystics. They tell her all this stuff, and she's like, "Oh my god, I have to go and save everybody." So she goes back to her home, and Soren comes back along the way, and he's like, "Bitch, you better have my money." No. He's like, "Bitch, where's my money and where's my ship and all this stuff?" And she's like, "Well, if you help me, like blah blah blah." So he helps her again, and Vincer shows up, obviously, and Quan and Soren come up with this plan to try and kill him, essentially. Uh, that they're gonna like blow up this like gas tower essentially while everybody's outside. So we're working on doing that, and then Vincer shows up, uh, and Quan has to like go through this like secret little tunnel to do it. And they're having another like battle. This one wasn't that cool though. Soren gets shot in the neck, but he doesn't die. And then Quan like shoots the thing, the the gas tower, and it blows up, killing everybody in Vincer. But her and Quan and Soren go in this like little, literally looks like a closet, but they call it a vault, and the vault has like slated windows. They go in there, and even though there's like a huge, gigantic ass fireball, they apparently don't die, even though there's slated windows. Um, so yeah, just a second. So they go in there. Quan obviously lives. Soren is like, "I'm gonna take my money and I'm out of here." And she's like, "I could use somebody like you on the resistance." And he's like, "Bet you could, bitch. I'm out though, deuces. And she's like, are you? I hope to see you again. He's like, bitch, I never want to see you again. He slaps her. He doesn't slap her though. He's like, bitch, I never want to see you again. I'm out. And then it ends, and you can tell they're gonna have something else again. And that's it. Sorry, I cut out because I got a call. So anyway, yeah, that was the end of the 7 episodes, or episode 7. Nothing really happened again. Like I said, Quan saves the day. Soren goes off on his own, and that's about it. No Master Chief, 100% Quan. Um, it was boring and stupid, and I hated it. Um, Sorry it took me a while to get out episodes 5 and 6. I've been having trouble with Paramount. It's not a very good app at all, and I had some family parties last weekend, so I wasn't able to make a video. And then combined with Paramount Plus issues, I was finally able to do it. And then I was like, I might as well just add episode 7 in there to do 3 of them. So yeah, overall, episode 5 was by far the best one, just for that battle at the end. Um, the rest of the episode was meh, but the episode at the end was really cool. Um, I'd give that episode maybe a 7. Episode 6, which was Chief and Halsey, majority of the episode, 100% Chief, no Quan in that episode at all. That one was okay. I know a lot of people seem to like that episode for some reason. I again thought it was just and the whole like love thing with Chief and this bad lady at the end of it was kind of stupid, so I give that one a 5. And then episode 7 with all Quan, that gets a 0 because I can't fucking stand Quan. So that, alright, I'll be nice and give it a 1. But yeah, so far this show is very boring. Like I said, it shows moments where they can make a good show, and then they'll go in the next episode and they'll be like, why make a good show and make a trash show? So it's disappointing. I'm really hoping that season 2 they dump Quan completely, and just really focus on Master Chief and things like that. Like I said, they've shown that they can make it a good show. They're just trying to do weird stuff with it. So I hope season 2 is at least better than this one. But that's all from me. And that's all from Chief. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.